Hello, it is very, very soon after my last unhaul/haul, and actually this time is because of the unhaul. Pretty large unhaul. I did just go through all of my books a couple days ago, so I'm unhauling them now, and I do have two books to haul as well. So I guess we'll do the haul first because there are only two of them. First up, I've got an arc of The Eternal Audience of One by Remy Namije. I apologize. This is an arc. It comes out in August. This is one I won from Goodreads. It is about a guy who is living in Namibia and he ends up moving to Cape Town, South Africa. And it looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty interesting. I'm very much about stuff that I am not super familiar with, so that'd be super fun. And then I also picked up The Girl with the Iron Touch by Katie Cass. This is a steampunk novel. I don't know if, I think it might be in a series that I do not have the other book. Yep, this is the third in a series, so I've got a ways to go before I grab the other ones before I can read this, but I do have it. So those are those. And now for the unhaul. Like I said, I went through a bunch of my books and I did want to unhaul them and take them to school before school gets out because it is May 3rd, 2021, which I probably should have mentioned beforehand because that is the date for this. So we have 14 days of school left, so I want to get these out. First up, let's just start going. Okay, so got Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2, based on the original story by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne, new play by Jack Thorne. I don't know why I didn't get rid of this, because I don't have any of the other Harry Potter books still, but I don't know why, but I did keep this one for some reason, so we're getting rid of it now. I've got this ratty old copy of 1984 by George Orwell. I have a better copy now, so I don't need this one. It is falling apart. Oh, look at that. It's a school book that I stole. Fun. I've also got These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is an incredible book, and I'm very glad I read it. I'm unhauling it just so that more people can read it. I think this is one that's not going to go on the free book stack. This is one that is going in the school library. I think that they will really enjoy this. Same with some of the manga in here. Most of the stuff that I'm unhauling, I didn't dislike. I'm unhauling it because like I said, I went through my books, and these are all books that I liked enough to keep the first time, so they're all really good books. They're just books I don't really need to keep around. This one, I think the school library will get a lot more use out of than I will. Then we've got a bunch of manga in here, like I said. Here's volume 4 of One Punch Man. I think I have the first 6 volumes of One Punch Man. These two are going to go to the school. I've got Nirvana, The Chosen Rejects by Kurt St. Thomas and Troy Smith. Just slowly, going through all of my old Nirvana books. This is a very floppy one. I bet my little sister's going to take this. I've got another One Punch Man. I've got One Punch Man Volume 2. I've got The Wizard Test by Hilary Bell, which I enjoy Hilary Bell, but I don't need everything she's ever written, and this one was kind of meh if I remember correctly. I've got Deeper by Roger Gordon and Brian Williams. I really enjoyed this series. I only had like the first couple books I only owned. I've only read like the first 3 or 4, but I figure I don't need to keep them. I've got another Hilary Bell. I've got The Goblin Wood. Is this one signed, or is it a later book in the series that I have that signed? I think it's a later book in the series. But again, I like Hilary Bell. I like her writing. I don't need to keep it around. 2 more One Punch Mans. I've got Volume 1 and Volume 3, so these are definitely going to the school because I do have a sequence of them, so that is good. And another manga that is going to the school, we got the first volume of Durarara by Ryogo Narita, Suzuhito Yasuda, and Akio Satori. I watched the anime. I really enjoyed it. I only ever got through the first 2 volumes of manga, though, but either way, we got some Robert Cormier. We got After the First Death. This is not my favorite Cormier, and I don't need to keep it around. I've got Wifey by Judy Blume. It was okay. We've got Christine by Stephen King. I have so many copies of Christine that I will not miss one. This is not even a fun edition. I mean, I do kind of like the cover, but I don't need every single cover of Christine, even no matter how much I might want it. I've got Funhouse by Diane Ho. This is one of the point horror books. I don't remember anything about this book. I know I read it. That is all I know. I don't know. It's just a point horror. Also got a book that I ended up reading for class at one point. That is Troubling Love by Elena Ferrante. I don't remember much about this either. It was for a novella class, but it is, yeah, it was about this lady whose mom died and stuff. I don't really remember. I read it for class years ago. We've also got Kim Gordon's Girl in a Band. This is the very first musician memoir I ever read, and it was very interesting because Kim Gordon was super cool. But I figured I did not need to keep it around. Another Stephen King book. We've got The Tommyknockers, one of my least favorite Stephen King books. And again, this is a shitty edition. So I figured I would get rid of it and let somebody else have it, get some use out of it. Another book for class, that was The Portrait of the Artist Young Man by James Joyce. I really enjoyed this book, but this is not a favorite edition. I've got some notes in here, so that's kind of fun. But this was also a secondhand copy, so somebody else has some notes in here as well. So that's doubly fun, but I do recognize my handwriting. But I do not need this one around, so there's that. I've also got The Flowers of Evil and Other Writings by Charles Baudelaire. This is a collection of poetry. It's a cute little book, but I don't need to keep around the romantics, most emo of poets, so there's that. We've got The Examined Life by Stephen Gross. This one was another one that I had to read for a class. I believe this one was for memoir. It was good, but I just don't need to keep it. We've got the first book in the Tunnels series, which is Tunnels. This one is Falling the Fuck Apart. I really enjoyed this series, like I said, but I don't need to keep it around. And again, it's falling apart. I've got The Gunslinger by Stephen King. I have got a lot of copies of The Gunslinger. I don't need this little paperback one. I've got Bang Crunch by Neil Smith. I'm keeping Boo, but Bang Crunch, well, I did really enjoy the stories. I probably do not need to keep them around because I have so many goddamn books and I don't have that much room for them. So we're getting rid of this one. I'm getting rid of The Family by Chris Johnston and Rosie Jones. This is about an Australian cult. I've got a 7th grader who would love this one. But it is, yeah, it I don't need to keep it around. It was not one that really, it was an interesting book and it is a interesting cult that I hadn't heard of before, but I don't need to keep it around. Then I've got So Long, See You Tomorrow by William Maxwell, a very short little book. I believe this was for, I forget what this was for. World Lit Part 2 or something? I don't remember what this was for. It was okay. It was deep. I did enjoy reading it, but I don't know what it was for. Another Stephen King book, we've got Hearts in Atlantis. I just hate this little hardcover. I want a better copy of this one. I want a nice big hardcover of Hearts in Atlantis. That's so hard to understand. I can't find one anywhere. We've got The House Next Door by Anne Rivers Siddons. This is one that I was keeping more because it was just such a cool thing to have. It was not actually very interesting. I heard that it was this great horror novel and it just wasn't very interesting, so I was kind of sad about that. I've also got Ghostland, An American History in Haunted Places by Colin Dickey. This is a nonfiction book. I really enjoyed how it was written. I really like having it, but I don't need to keep it around probably. I've got Burn Baby by Kevin Craig. Don't know why I kept this. This is, I believe it's like self-published or something. It's about this boy who's terribly bullied because he's got burn scars and stuff, so whatever. I've got Throne of Fire by Rick Riordan. I got rid of the third Kane Chronicle book, so I figured I would just get rid of the second one, and I don't know where my copy of the first one went, which is why, otherwise I'd get rid of that one too, probably. Another Stephen King book, Skeleton Crew. I have more than one copy of Skeleton Crew, so I don't need this one. It's one of those shitty Myers Macker paperbacks, so I don't need it. Also got Misery, which I believe I have a better copy of this. If not, I just want a better copy of it. I've only read Misery once, so, but I don't like this. I don't like this style of paperbacks that came out in like the 2000s for the Stephen King book. I just don't like them. And again, with little paperbacks, I've got The Colorado Kid, which also wasn't very interesting, so. Then we're getting rid of Even Adam by Michael Grant and Catherine Applegate. I love Michael Grant, but this one was not anywhere near my favorite Michael Grant book. And since I got rid of the oh, what are they called? The Messenger Fear books. I figured I might as well get rid of these ones too. That one, I guess. And then we've got the second volume of Durarara. So we're getting rid of this one as well. And we've got Strange by Colin Wilson and Damon Wilson. I kind of kept this around for a while, but I figure we don't really need to hold on to it. And finally, getting rid of one of my copies of A Clockwork Orange, because I figure I don't need 7,000 copies of A Clockwork Orange. And I told the 7th grader who likes cults that I would give him a copy of The Clockwork Orange because I have 1,000 copies of them. So I'm getting rid of this one because it's the least interesting cover. And it's the newest. But yeah, that is my May 3rd unhaul / haul. Very small haul compared to the unhaul, which is unusual for me, so that is good. But yeah, that is all for today. I will talk to you later, and goodbye.